following. So understand what are databases and DBMMs, understand various SQL data types, be able to appreciate various SQL commands, be able to understand also on how to use appropriate SQL syntax and best practices in the industry. And also, before we end up our session, we'll set up a SQL server. And in this case, it will be MySQL. We are going to use MySQL as our DBMMs. And then after setting it up, we are going to have a simple creation of our first database and also create a few tables and then insert data so that you can see practically how that goes on. So without much ado, allow me to proceed. So the first thing is we are going to look is a database. So before going deep into database, first of all, we need to understand what is data. So from our knowledge in high school, the simple knowledge, you can see a data these are actual facts and figures collected and stored in a systematic manner. So that information, that data or that facts or those figures that are collected and stored in a systematic manner, when now we come to the database realms, is what we call a database. So in this case, a database is going to be an organized collection of data stored and that can be retrieved electronically from a remote or a local computer system. So remember, this database is like a house that is housing the information that you may have or maybe a particular company has. So this database can be very fast and also complex. For different companies have different databases, which are also very complex to interact with. And in such cases, when developing these databases, we used fixed schemas and appropriate modeling approaches. So having understand what is a database, in its simple terms, we would like to go and also look on the following. Now, what is a DBMS? So this in full, it stands for a database management system, whereby this is a system software that allows users to create, store, retrieve, and run queries on data stored in a database. So what does this DBMS do? So it acts as an interface between the end user or an application and a database. So you can see from this image here, so we have the database from our far left-hand side. Then we have DBMS. Then from this DBMS, now in this pictorial here, we can see that for us to be able to interact with this database, we need a DBMS. Now, using this DBMS, there are several ways that people can interact with it. So there are application softwares or applications that are run on the DBMS. And also, apart from those applications, we can also have end users like you and me, where you can also interact with this database via the DBMS through a computer. So somebody can ask, what about applications? For remember, in software, we have those guys that deal with the backend. So to be able to have that information retrieved, and then it is channeled to the end user through the front-end user interface, it has to come from this database, which is reached out through applications. Add to expand this in case people are not seeing it clearly. So you can see we have MySQL as one of them, SQLite, SQL Server, That is my Microsoft SQL Server. We also have PostgreSQL. We also have Oracle databases, and so many of them. MariaDB also included in this case. So these DBMMs, as we have said, are the softwares that will allow us now to interact with the database that is housing our information or our data. So that means if we don't have them, then we are not able to interact with the information that is stored under the database. Now, having understood now what is a DBMS, and including then what examples of them, such as MySQL, I would like to proceed to the next one. So what is the purpose of these DBMMs? So first of all, they ensure data security. Remember, in corporate world, data security is very key. And then that means unauthorized access to this data can cause serious breaches to the company and their customers or clients. So for that role to be well put, then we need to have these database management systems. The second one is data manipulation and storage. These DBMMs allows us to manipulate the data. That is, we can insert, delete, modify the existing records in the database. They also allow us to have our data backup as we look at this at the tail end of the program on how to back up your database. It also ensures data integrity. It allows us also to share and collaborate with others. Also, DBMMs allows us to have data scalability. So for those companies like, for example, Amazon, they use cloud databases. In doing so, they ensure there is high scalability. That means you can access data from their databases quickly and at anywhere that you are in. Now let's go on and look at various types of DBMMs. So they are categorized into the following. So we have hierarchical database management systems. So these are like tree-like structures. So for those guys maybe have interacted with C language. So there are those there are some concepts such as binary trees. So if you're aware of that, then I think tree-like structures or the parent node can be easier to you. Also, we also have network DBMMs that display graph-like structure. And also, we have relational databases. Now we are for our case in this course, we are going to focus on relational databases. And beside this, we also have non-relational databases. However, our focus will be on relational databases. So what are these, or what is relational database management system? As we have said, our database management system is a system software that allows us to interact with the data that is stored in a database. In that case, the relational database management system the data in that case is always stored in tables or table format. So the table will be consisting of rows and columns. In other cases, they may call the rows like records. They refer to rows as records and columns as fields. So the data is stored in a table format. So that is why we are saying, in this case, storing data in that form employs that we have relationship between those entities. That is why we are having the term relational. Now, as we dive into the relational database management system, we are looking at the following: standardization. So they adhere to industry standard query language, that is SQL. They also have efficient data querying, and also they display appropriate data relationships that we can infer various associations from the data itself. So up to that point, is there any question before we proceed? And please be confirming if you can hear me. I think my device is also having some issues, so it can be talking to myself here. Question. Okay, yes, Mohammed.
Yeah, you can proceed. I don't have question.
Yes.
You can proceed. You can proceed it.
Okay. Yeah, whenever you have a question, feel free to post me and ask your question. It's always very key. However, these are just introductory notes that we're going through. Now, in RDBMS, for them to be efficient and to adhere to industry standards, they have to support CRUD operations. So CRUD is an acronym that stands for create, read, update, and delete. So these system softwares that allows us to interact with the relational databases, they enable us to be able to create tables or create database. Read, that is, you may be able to retrieve the information that is stored in a database. It also allows you to be able to update maybe the existing data, or maybe new records that you want to input into the database. Also, it also gives you privileges to delete the existing data, or also have maybe a few records that you want them deleted from the database. So RDBMS support CRUD operations. And for this to be able to be feasible, this RDBMS have to follow another property that we call as ACID. So let's proceed. So ACID properties in relational database management system. So relational database management system, we are informed that they should have ACID properties, which will ensure data validity and compliance. This is an acronym that stands for atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability. So as we continue in the course, we'll be using the term transaction. So it is prudent for you to note what it means. This is a single unit of work involving one or more operations performed on a database with the aim of reading or modifying the data. So you may want to update a certain record. So the table that you'll be referring to and the database where that table is hosted, that unit script that you're going to write and execute to make sure that the data has been modified or updated, that is what we call or we refer to as transaction. Now, this transaction or that script that you have written, it should follow ACID properties. Now, what is this ACID? So ACID the first term, which is A, stands for atomicity. It ensures that all operations in a transaction or a query, that is to read, write, update, or delete, are treated as a single unit. So remember, as we'll be going, we'll be writing maybe create a database, use this database, create a table, insert this data into a table, update this record, all that as you run it as a single script. Now that single script or query is what we have said is a transaction. So atomicity means it will be treated as a single unit. That means if your script is right or is correct, it will be executed successfully. If not, it will fail. That means none of the tables that you have updated or created will be created because there may be a syntax error that will have caused the whole transaction to fail. Now that is what atomicity stands for. Then we have consistency. Now, what does consistency in this case refer to, or what does it entail? So it ensures that transactions or that script that we have written only make changes to the tables in predefined and predicted ways. So it ensures that if you're only modifying a data in a certain table, that script that we have written, it should only affect that table and not all other tables that are housed in the same database. So this ensures that errors or corruption in our data do not result into unintended consequences that compromise the integrity of the database table. So remember, in a single database can host multiple tables. So we want this transaction to be only affecting a single table. So if that is causing an error, that error should only be accustomed to that table that was being referred, and it should not affect the other tables, or it should not touch them. So another one is isolation. So isolation queries, remember in a database, there are several users. There is a DBA, database administrator. We also have data analyst, data scientist, and also software engineers that are using the same database. So these individuals are interacting with that database in different ways. So we want them, when they are doing transactions or they are writing their scripts, if the software engineer is intending to maybe have some applications that are interacting with the database, that is through the backend, it should not affect my work as a data scientist. That is what it means. And also durability, the last term D. Durability ensures that modifications that are made to our data are successfully executed. And then the query or that script that you wrote, the changes that it made, they have to be saved permanently. This will remain in the case in the event of a system failure. So remember, if you updated some records in your table in a certain database and the script executed successfully, then that change or that modification that you have made, it will be saved permanently. So that means in case there is a power outage or just general system failure, when you restore your database, the changes that you had made, they will be feasible or they will be retained in the database. Now, having known what is a database, what is a DBMS, various types of DBMS, and how this database management system allows us to interact with the database. Now, we want to have that language. Remember, we don't just interact with them just anyhow. There is a predefined language that has been put in place to enable the end users like me and you to be able to interact with us with that database. So in that case, our language is SQL. Now, this is the language, and this is the course that we are in. So what is SQL in the first place? So SQL is an acronym that stands for Structured Query Language. And in this case, in simple terms, it means SQL is a programming language used to store, manage, manipulate, and retrieve data in relational database management systems. So this tells us that it's only relational database management system that support SQL. And as we have mentioned earlier, we also have other databases that do not support SQL. We call them non-relational or no SQL databases. So in such a case, if maybe you interact with no SQL database, you wouldn't be using the SQL. However, because in the corporate world, the data that is stored in a database has relationships in their entities. That is why we employ SQL, and that is why it is prudent and very critical for us all to understand SQL and how we can use it to manipulate the data that is stored in a database. So up to that point, are we okay?
Yes.
Okay. Now, in SQL, we have different data types that allow us to be able, just a minute. Okay, I hope now you can see it well. In this case, we have different categories. In this, we have numeric. Under numeric, we have different types, such as int. Int stands for integers. We also have big int, very large numbers. We also have floats. Those are decimal numbers. And also doubles. They also are decimal numbers. So apart from numeric, we also have another category of a data type that is supported in SQL by the name string. So in string, we have char. That is the short term for a character. We also have variable. So char has fixed length. It supports only a fixed length. So when you are writing or when you are creating your database and then your table has some fields that are char in nature, we'll have to predefine the exact number. Because it supports only fixed length. We also have variable length, variable character, so that is varchar. We also have text. So text comes in hand when you are providing a description. Maybe you want to describe what Databridge does. So for that information to be captured in a database, so for the column that you'll be creating, the data type that we'll put will be text. The same thing stands for blob. Blob also is a large object, like such as for images.
Sorry, what did you say about text?
Our text, I said, is okay. Text comes and when you are maybe giving description about something. So description means you are going to give several sentences describing a particular entity. So in that description, when you are creating your database and a table, so that table will have a column or a field. Now, the data type of that field will be text because you will provide description about a certain entity or object. Is that okay now?
Yeah.
Right. So we also have date and time. So here we have, if we can maybe want to put date only. You can also put time only when maybe a certain transaction took place. You can maybe decide to have both of them, that is date and time. Or we can only decide to have only here. So those, when creating a table, under that particular column that has that field, then you will have to include here as the data type. We also have booleans. So booleans are like, or the bool, this stands for true or false, yes or no, such a characters or such strings. Then we also have spatial data type. So MySQL also adopted spatial data types that enable guys that, for example, if you are doing a particular project, for example, the one like you are doing for SEMA, we were looking at various hospitals in Nairobi County. So in Nairobi County, have different hospitals. Maybe some are national, others are district, those are clinics. So using spatial data types, we are able now to pinpoint, like for example, in maybe Madare, maybe in Madare, we can give a map, show the number, show the availability of those hospitals or health facilities, indicate the ones that are working or not working, also include. So for you to be able to do that type of analysis, you need to have spatial data. So SQL is also supporting that type of data type. So I went ahead also to maybe to give it each, to give description of each. So I think we have gone through this, maybe just to touch on floats. So maybe where you have a problem, you let me know, so that maybe I can explain it further. So for spatial data types, maybe for those maybe who may want further clarifications, this is what you do. Every location has its own coordinates. So we use the longitudes and the latitudes to have that particular area displayed in the analysis that we are doing. So in this case, we apply geometry, points. We also have line strings and polygons. So polygons, like we're getting area of a particular place, maybe area of the area covered by University of Nairobi. So if you are dealing with areas, so we may use also spatial data types and polygons. So up to that point, are we okay with various data types? So now we can see the regions. No. Okay, Eve, do you have any question so far?
No, I don't have. But are you going to share the write-up? Up
Yes,
to
yes,
where we will reach, eh?
yes, I'll share. No,
Yeah,
no
I think
worries.
when we get to the practicals, we'll be able to see exactly what you mean.
Okay.
Classmates, why aren't you guys talking? I think we are good.
Silence is also an answer.
Yeah.
Okay, Mwende, are we okay? Also, Vidola, are we okay?
Yeah, we are okay.
All right. Please confirm if my screen is still visible from your side.
Yeah, we can see it.
Now, having understood now what is a database, now DBMMs, that is now giving us that privilege or rights to interact with that database. Having understood what is a relational database, various data types that are supported by SQL, now I want to go further and now check on SQL commands. Now remember, now we have the database, now we have the DBMS, and also we have the data types. We have not yet interacted with our database using the DBMS. So now for us to interact with that database, we need some commands. Now these commands are instructions. You are giving it instruction to do something. So it is used to communicate with the database. So these SQL commands are those instructions that now we use now to communicate with the database. So what do these commands do? They can perform specific tasks. Maybe you can ask it to give you the number of students doing SQL in Databreed. You can write a function to schedule backup, or you can write queries to check on various aspects of the projects that you are dealing with. So these commands are as follows. So So this is the diagram of our commands. So we have 5 SQL commands: DDL, DML, DCL, TCL, and DQL. So let me expand this one so that you can see. So DDL means, in full, it stands for Data Definition Language. So in this case, these are the commands that you are going to use to define the schema. Schema is the same as structure, to define the schema of your database. For you to be able to create a database, a table, a view, all you have to do.
Excuse me.
Yes.
What is schema and how do you spell it?
A schema is, okay, schema I've said is the same as structure. So we use DDL commands, data definition language, to define our schema, to define how we want our structure of the database to look like, right?
Yes,
Are we
yes.
okay up to that point?
Mm.
Yes. Now, we use these commands to now, as I have said, now to come up with our structure of this database. You may want it to be very complex, or you may want it to be just a simple database. So now for us to be able to create that database itself that is going to house our data, we'll use create command. If maybe you want to create a table, we'll also employ create command. If maybe you want to create a view or come up with triggers, in one way or the other, you're going to apply create. Now, if you may want maybe to drop that database or table or view that you have created, we are going to use drop. If maybe you want to change a particular field or column, we use alter command. Maybe if you want to now empty the database or the database that we have created, we use truncate command. So essentially, these commands under DDL are the ones that you're going to come up with the structure of your database. It's the one that is going to aid you in coming up with the schema of your database. Now, the next command that are very handy in database. So we have DML. So in full, it stands for Data Manipulation Language. We want to interact with this data. We want to manipulate it. So we have created our database and our tables using the DDL commands. That's far those commands can do under DDL, but they cannot now manipulate the data that is in the database. Now, for you to be able now to manipulate that data, we now employ commands now under DML. So DML commands that are housed under it's insert. You can insert new records. You can update the records, or you can delete them. Records in this case we refer to rows. Remember we said these are relational database, so it is in tabular format. So we have rows and columns. Whenever you hear me say of records, I mean rows. When I say of fields, I mean columns. So DML commands will allow you to. Now, DML commands, they only deal with rows. DDL commands, they only deal with columns. Please take note of that. If you want to change anything that is an end column, that's the structure of the data. Maybe you want to change the data type, you will only employ DDL commands. Now we have created your columns. All right. Now, once now to populate those columns, now we employ command that is DML. So we will insert new data into those columns, and we'll insert data in the form of rows into those columns. We will use the update command maybe to make some updates. We can also use the delete command to delete rows. So remember, if you are deleting some records, we only use delete.
Hii ni kama mtu ameniblock, si ndio? DP naona. Ni kama
Calvins,
Okay.
you can mute.
Okay. Now let's proceed to the other type of SQL command. So the other type is DCL. DCL is data control language. First of all, remember in any company or any corporate entity, they always restrict people interacting with their data because data is very private. So for them to be able to do that, they need to employ the commands and data control language, that is DCL. So the database administrator, that is DBA in that case, will only grant a few privileges, maybe to a data analyst, a data scientist, or a software engineer. Apart from just granting you privileges, they can also revoke it. So for example, if maybe you are given to do a particular project and interacting with the live data, for example, in a financial institution, you'll be given access to particular tables. Now, when you are done with that project, the DBA will revoke the privilege that he had given you. So that means you will not be able to access their database anymore. Now, that is what those two commands do. The next one is TCL, that is transaction control language. As we said, transaction is a query or a single unit that we do, or a script in simple language that we write to do a particular or perform a particular task. So when you want to make permanent changes to the database, we commit them. In doing so means the database will reflect the changes that have been made. So we also have another command that we call rollback. Rollback enables one, maybe you are the database and you want to check if there is an error that was done by one of the end users. So you as the database, remember you have all the privileges to even see the activities that they were doing. You can be able to track the activity and then roll back that script or that query to the point where it caused the error and then make changes to it or make it correct. And we also have save point. You can also decide to save and proceed. Then we have the final one, which is DQL. Now DQL is very handy because now you have created the table, you have populated them, you have given privileges to particular users, you are able to check on commit and rollback. But then for you to be able to do all that, you need to use DQL command, that is select. So select is the one that is going to allow you to be able to retrieve the data, to select few columns or few fields that you want to make changes to also to select the number of users that you want to grant roles in a certain database. So that is all about those SQL commands. Maybe if you need any clarification, you can ask as we continue. Okay. The next one I want to move to. Okay, now these are just continuation of those commands. I'll share these notes. Maybe you look at them from the notes. Now, having known now different types of SQL commands, before we proceed and do anything about installation, creating tables, there are a few things that we need to note. It is not just creating a table or coming up with a database schema, but it is very proficient or highly recommended to follow the best practices. Now, Now, this is the section that now you are handling that. So you are going to look at SQL syntax structure and best practices. Remember, our SQL script or query or transaction will contain different components such as clauses, keywords, operators, identifiers, and comments. Now, all these components, they are the one that makes up a query or a transaction. So for them to be able to adhere to industry standards, they have to follow a predefined structure. So to this point, I think you can see. So for example, different people use different approaches in SQL. In this case, as you can see, this is just an example that I put here so that you can see. So our keywords, they are given in capital letters, and they begin on a new line, as you can see from here. So why this? So this enables easier readability and also allows your code to be able to be understood by other users of the same database. Maybe you are an intern to maybe a particular organization. So when you write your SQL script or query in the predefined format, the senior data scientist or your supervisor will come and follow the SQL that you wrote, be able to identify where you went wrong, and in that way, he or she will be in a position to correct you. So from this simple syntax structure here, we can see various components. We have the keywords, that is select. The keywords, they are highlighted in red. We also have operators. We also have arithmetic operators. In this case, we have addition, plus, in that case. We also have comparisons, equal sign, less, greater, equal to, or less than, all that. So having understood different operators and how to structure your syntax, SQL syntax, now it comes to naming conventions. How do we name our tables? How do we name our database? How do we ensure that we don't cause any conflicts between our naming conventions and the existing keywords in the SQL? So in this case, we have three naming conventions that can be employed. We have camel case. That is, you start the first letter with a lowercase. Then maybe, for example, if you are using the word first name, so the first F will be small letter, then N will be a capital letter. So that is what we mean by camel case. The first letter of each word is small letter, then the subsequent letter is capitalized. We also have those who employ Pascal case. In Pascal case, each word starts with a capital letter. So if maybe it's his first name, F will be capital. Remember, we are concatenating them, so there is no space between them. So F will be a capital letter, then N will also be a capital letter. We also have underscores. So maybe we have, for example, first name. You may want to write first, then name. No, because SQL does not support spaces or spacing, we are advised to use underscores. So the first name will be first, and then between first and name, there will be an underscore. So that means the SQL engine will be able to interpret the keywords, the clauses, and also the naming conventions of your database and the tables. No, for example, now after the naming conventions, we also look on another thing that is very handy in this case. Actually, if you fail to include this, the transaction or the query will not execute. So that is semicolons. Semicolons in SQL are the ones we refer to them as delimiters. A delimiter is a statement terminator that shows that script, we have come to an end of that script. So for example, as you can see from here, we have three scripts here. We have insert into employees table. The first name, as we have said, it is being separated by underscore, last name the same, and salary. So in this case, we want to insert data into these columns: first name, last name, and salary. So what is the data that we want to insert to that? It has to follow it consecutively. So it will be the first name. Remember, these are string. We use quotations. First name is John, and last name is Doe, and then the amount, the salary, is an int. So in this case, it will be 50,000. So we finish by giving or inputting the semicolons. That indicates that is the end of that query or script. We can also have another one like update. Now this is under DML. We can update employees table. We want to set now salary, instead of it being 50,000 to be 55,000. Where are we setting this one? We want it to affect only the employee with the ID number 1. So and then we include our semicolons. So that is work of semicolons. They are delimiters or the statement terminators. So whenever you are writing your SQL script, please remember to include at the end of it, of your script, to include semicolons. Otherwise, it will not execute. Then another thing that we check at is comments. When you are writing your SQL script, please be including some comments. Let me understand what was your reasoning behind whatever you wrote. Let me understand you did this, maybe you wanted to affect this table, or maybe you wanted to create this, insert data into this. Let there be those comments that are explaining or giving logic to anybody who's going to read your script. So we have two ways of commenting. We have a single line. So maybe if your comment is just short, it is not that long, you are recommended to use a single line. So this single line begins with 2 dashes. So you begin with 2 dashes. That in SQL, that is in SQL shows that you are giving it as a comment, but not a keyword or command. Then we can also have multi-line commenting. So for those who have done C, this is the same comment, that is the same way of putting your comments as it is in C. So you begin with a /, then asterisk, end with a asterisk, then /. So that is what you can use to have multiple comments or multiple lines of comments in your code. So another way is line breaks. As we have said, we want our code to be adhering to the professional standards in SQL programming. So this is the first person, the one that is top. Select last name, salary from employees where salary is equals to 50,000. So that code is very correct. It will execute successfully. However, if you are using now subqueries, it will get longer and will not be able to, the SQL engine may fail to understand different aspects of it. And also, if you give that code to someone else who is not you, will not be able to understand what you meant by that long line of your code. That is why we recommend line breaks. So For line breaks, you can see from the second code, select last name, salary, from, remember we said keywords, they start on a new line, from employees table. The same thing just we have done with the first command, employees table, where salary is greater than 50,000. So that code is easy to read and interpret. And if you give it to someone else, it will also be easy for him or her to understand. So that is why we recommend to use line breaks. However, if you don't include them, the SQL engine will still execute your code if it is correctly formatted. It will execute successfully. So that one does not affect. So this is the last part of it. So you can see from here what we have done. Select first name, last name, from, employees, where. So maybe if you are affecting different fields under where clause, we will be required to put some parentheses. So please note here. However, you can still put it in another way and still work. So that is not restricted. Now, I want us to go now to installing MySQL.
What happens if you put the semicolon after the 50K?
It will after
yeah, at
no,
the end of it.
at the end it will for this one,
Mm.
it will still execute. Remember, these are just line breaks. It will still execute. However, for readability, it will not be recommended. SQL ignores line breaks, but they are highly recommended for the right in readability. And for you to be able, maybe if you asked by maybe your team leader or project manager to explain, sometimes later you will be able to do the same thing. So that is why. So I want us to go ahead now and install MySQL. I'm going to guide now. I'll go with the guys with Linux. How many of us are using Linux? To show you how we can install using Linux. Then, as we do that, for guys with the Windows, please go ahead and download the same thing. Okay, let me see if we have anybody with Linux. Maybe I can guide on that because I'm using it here. Anyone using Linux here? Okay. Remember, there is a guy who was using Linux last time. Yes, the last time we are doing Git. Who is that? Oh, it's Calvin's. Calvin's, is it you? Okay, nice. So, guys, for those who are not using Linux, please proceed and download MySQL community server from just Chrome, just Google. So, Calvin's, do you have MySQL installed in your Linux system? You have it installed. Okay. Okay. Please share it. I want to see it running. Or I show you using mine. Someone else. I want to see. Mwende, please install yours. Mohammed, please download yours. Joy Christine, please also download yours. I want us today to set up the SQL server and also set up our GUI.
So we just go to our search engine and type MySQL.
Yes? Come again.
I'm asking, we just go to the search engine and type MySQL.
Yes, MySQL. Yes, just type that one.
Okay.
It will just come. It will just pop up. No issues. Just type that one.
The one with the blue logo.
Okay, let me check from my side. Mhm. Yes, the one with a blue logo. Let me go back so that I can see where you are.
Can I share you see if this is the correct one?
Okay, I can share my screen to that point so that I can see.
I want to share mine.
All right, it's okay. It's fine.
Sorry, not I want. I'd like to share mine. Sorry about that.
It's okay, no problem. We are just learning. No pressure. Let me stop sharing so that you can share. Stop sharing. Yes, that's fine. I don't mind running with several projects on Windows. Okay, that's fine. This is who?
Sorry, I was asking if this is it.
This is SQL. This is Microsoft SQL Server. I want to install my
Yes.
SQL.
MySQL.
This is different, yes.
Okay.
Mm.
Thank you.
All right.
I want to stop sharing. How do I stop?
Calvin, share screen. I want to see yours running. I want to see if it is running correctly. Share screen.
So you said the one with the blue something? Hmm?
Yes.
Blue or green?
Okay, let me check on my side. No, we know as we are colorblind. So it is blue.
It's the first one, huh?
Yeah, it's blue. Okay, so that's okay.
Mhm.
This is
I'm not so
workbench.
sure if
This
this
is
is it.
workbench. Okay.
One day I need assistance. I don't even know what this is.
Me
So
too.
that is my
That is
my
to download.
Can we share? Then you let us know what to do.
Ooh, like which one should we have? Because I have
MySQL.
my SQL.
Mm.
Like I have several. I have my SQL Workbench. I have my SQL Server. And what? Let me check. Or are you talking about this one?
No, that is Postgres. That is PG admin 4. That is PG admin 4. So here we are dealing with MySQL. MySQL database. That is what we are dealing with. That is Postgres. So you have said we have several. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I can see we have Workbench, right?
Yeah.
All right. That's fine. So is it like, okay. Which one do you use? You use this one or the one in Linux?
No, I used this one.
So this is PG admin. So this one is for Postgres.
Wait. Eh, Aki. Okay, like I'm saying,
Uh-huh.
I have several. Like I've been using Nini. My SQL. Oh, let me check. I've been using SQL Server Management Studio. That
So
is
that
where
is for, okay.
that
So
is where
that
I have
is
my project.
okay. That is for SQL Server. So in our case, we'll be learning using MySQL. MySQL is a database. SQL Server is also a database. It's on its own.
So we should install. Like
MySQL.
what is the difference?
Okay, difference, they have just a few syntax. I can say that. However,
So
the primary database that you guys should know before proceeding to any other, it's MySQL, because all other databases are built from that one. So if you understand the primary database, then you'll be good to go. So this is Postgres. You can close this one.
this one is the one I've been using.
So this is SQL Server.
Okay, then I think
Calvin's in short, we're downloading afresh. So instead of don't stop sharing, please go to what do you call it? Go to Chrome and Google search MySQL so that we can see the download process. I am stuck with the first one. Unacheka nini?
so umesema MySQL.
MySQL, yes.
Now go to downloads.
You said go to downloads.
Hi,
Yes.
sorry, which one did you select among the options?
The first link. Select the first link.
Downloads.
Then you go
The
to
installer. Hi, Calvin's.
Calvin's anza tena. Anza tena tukue sisi wote pamoja.
See this
Christine,
the
that
first
one,
one.
it was the first one.
So you click on the first one, then my downloads, then from there
you check on community server. Just
yeah.
scroll down.
So you have
Yes,
the
there. Then you download the community server, the MySQL community server. I think you've gone back, right?
now I click on this one,
Yes,
then
MySQL community server or MySQL
yes,
installer. Yes,
Wait,
that's it.
community downloads.
community server.
Then you install the first one now.
Me sina community server. I have community downloads. Oh, there's several.
Just scroll. I think window jaona vizuri. Iko hapo.
Nime scroll hadi chini.
Let me go back for you. Your case.
Thank you. MySQL. Yeah, so I'm in that page. So
Tuko pamoja.
mm.
Ushapata community server.
Mm.
Okay, you click on that one.
I click on it.
Then you find the one compatible hiyo yenye kizungu.
9.3 innovation.
Yes, download that one.
So we download this.
For my case, which one do I choose?
No, so which one is it? There's 64.
The first
zip
one.
archive, MSI.
No, the first one.
Okay.
Just
The
say no
first one
thanks.
is MSI.
Say no thanks and start your download.
Say what? No thanks.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I hope other guys are there. Now, Calvin,
Yes.
This is, don't connect to SQL Server. That is different.
Funga hiyo Calvins.
Ndio
Funga kabisa.
nataka kuifunga kabisa.
Okay, now, Calvin, you can go back again. You can share a screen so that now people can download also MySQL Workbench.
See,
You can go
as for me, I've already
Workbench.
see, I have
You have
Workbench.
what? You have
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
For MySQL.
They're
MySQL
not.
Workbench,
Calvins
not
ulikuwa na
SQL
download
Server.
kitu hata na wewe.
See, I have it. Ndio hii hapa. Let me search for you. See.
Ni yangu ni.
See, here it is.
Oh, okay, that's fine, that's fine. So I wanted you to go back so that others can see where it is. You are not going to download. Okay. It was just there. Just go back there.
The first link.
Yes, that one. Yeah, they will download it from there.
Which one should I click?
Let me see. Okay,
Do I
on
go to,
the no on
I go
the
to
on yes, there at the downloads. Let me see what is there.
So should I next?
Yes.
Set
Oh,
up,
you are
should I set up?
yes, you are installing next.
then I go on this one. See now?
Okay. Let's click the one to see.
This
So
one.
choose setup type, typical, custom, complete.
You want to use okay, which one had been chosen? Because you always go with the default. Which one is chosen there?
Typical. Typical installs
Okay,
most or recommended.
yeah.
So typical
Yes,
is
proceed
highlighted.
with that one. Calvin, just go back. Calvin, go back. Yes, just down, just there you are. Click on community. Yes, that one.
Then
I want to show where MySQL is. MySQL Workbench. Yes, not there. Don't click on server. Just at the bottom, before installer for Windows, we have MySQL Workbench there. Can you see it?
this. Yeah.
Yes.
Then
So they will
this
find
one.
it there.
Oh,
You just
just the
download.
same.
You just install.
The same process.
Yes.
Mine is installed. I
Yes.
think.
They will. Yes. So we wanted to show others where they can find it, so they will find it there. So guys, I hope you can see where you find MySQL. Now, Calvin, you said you have the Linux, right? You have the Ubuntu.
Yeah.
Okay, open it. I want to show you something.
So my SQL root password is what now?
I will set it
I
for
put
set
yourself.
Not
You
just
set it for
anything.
yourself.
Password.
Now make all right.
Of course that password ndio nauliza anything.
No, anything is not a password.
Sawa boss Calvin.
Use a
Does it
strong
accept caps locks?
mpaka spaces.
Oh.
Okay, you are here now. Right. Okay, type MySQL in lowercase space double hyphens, then version.
Then I hit enter.
Click. Yes. So you see, you don't have it here. So okay, the reason I wanted because you have Linux to use this one. You can do this. It is sudo apt -get.
Oh.
And also use it.
Get.
No, there is no spacing between them. There is no space in between them. Space now, install. Space, MySQL, -server. Okay. You have to update.
I have it. So I just ni update, no?
Yes, let me share a command here at the chat. There is that command. You can see that you can still have the chat. Mwende, how far are you with
Mi
installation?
nimekwama.
Nano you Mwende, Eve.
Eve.
Okay, you can share your screen. Okay,
Let Calvin's finish.
okay. We have, it is not, it is sudo.
I
So
think
far,
I've
yeah. What? Okay, write this one. I don't know why it is saying that. Say, write sudo. Sudo, like, okay, let me type it for you first here on the chat. I think that one can be fast.
lakini
Mm.
Linux yangu leo
Hi.
imekuwa ikinisumbua
Oh, imekuwa inasumbua.
leo
Hey, excuse me, when I get to choose setup type, which one do I select? Typical, custom, complete?
Okay, you can go with
Typical.
the one that has been just chosen by default. They
Okay.
recommend using that one.
Mhm.
Okay, let me share that command with you. So you can write that command to update to see if you update it, there will be any change. No, that will take time. It's okay.
it's working.
Like I have seen where the issue is. So the Linux release that you are using is obsolete.
Meaning?
It's obsolete, meaning okay, in Linux we have, what do you call it? I've forgotten that name. That you used to update when
So
Mhm.
I need to update because even today imekuwa ikinisumbua sana. I was running Wireshark and it didn't work for me.
Oh, okay. All right. Now just install it on the background. Let's see where Eve is. Eve, are you done? All right. Let me show you let me share my Ubuntu. Let me share mine. Are you seeing my Ubuntu? So there are different ways to be interacting with our MySQL. I want to show you like two ways.
Are you
So
assuming we are done?
yes, you are done. Oh, you have finished the installation, right?
I'm asking if you're assuming that we are done.
Yes, I'm assuming you are
Mimi,
done.
I'm stuck.
Where? Okay, share your screen.
Nikishaweka password nimekwama hapo.
Hebu share screen tuone.
You've stopped sharing.
Yes, I've stopped.
Mhm. Wait a minute. So this is where I am. So that's where I am. I have input my password. I don't know how to proceed beyond that.
Next, okay, click next huku chini haisongi.
Hapa kwa add user, it's not important.
No, adding user ni kama unataka kukuwa na mtu mwingine but you are the
Mtu
root user.
mwingine. Oh, okay.
Click next.
Again,
Yes.
next.
Yes.
Yes,
Next.
grant full access.
Let me see that one. Yes, you have full access. That is okay. Just next. Don't create any.
I
Don't
shouldn't
create
click
some.
anything.
Yes, those are just sample. Don't create anything. Just click next. Okay. Click execute to apply. Just click execute. Just let them just update.
Bayo and Christine, you guys are good.
For me, no. For that second,
Yes,
okay,
that is okay. You can click next. Let's finish this one, then we go to
okay.
finish.
I
Who
don't
was
know why.
sharing?
I don't know why the sharing stopped, but
you are okay, right?
I want to assume I'm okay. I just don't know where it is now.
Okay, if share your screen, let's see where you are.
Eve or Mwende or Christine.
Oh, sorry. Oh, yes, Christine. Na mtu alisema amekwama.
Yeah, Christine. Lakini mwalimu iko wapi?
Una type hapo kwa search MySQL Workbench.
MySQL.
You run as administrator.
MySQL. 9.3 configurator, command clients, command line clients. Any of them.
Yeah, you can choose any. Calvin, which one are you using?
Mbona inanirudisha kule?
Ebu
Change,
share.
repair or remove installation. What is this?
Unasemaje?
Which one are you using? The command line, the GUI, or under the workbench? Which one are you using on your side?
See the nini, the GUI.
Okay,
Graphical
click on.
user.
Okay.
Mine is bringing a very complicated story. This application requires Visual Studio due 2019.
Huh?
Mwende
What
ebu
is
share nione.
Yangu imekataa, hata hakuna kitu inafanya.
Hebu tuone, kwani uliinstall gani?
Ya kwanza tu, ulisema ya kwanza 9.3. Yeah, let me share my screen.
Enoch, vile nimefungua tena, nimesearch. Why is it telling me it's like it's installing mara ya pili? So it's saying change, repair or remove installation. Why would it give me those options?
Ebu?
They redistribute and run.
Application requires. Okay. Okay. Mwende. Who is this sharing? Mwende, right?
Yeah.
these are Microsoft updates. You'll have to go to settings and under the update section, you make sure you have the latest updates and fixes.
Okay. But my laptop is up to date,
Okay.
so I don't know. Okay. So
Yes.
it's
There is
up to
something missing because it should not say this. This is Microsoft. This is Visual Studio, which is a Microsoft updates or some security fixes that it needs. So you
okay.
have to update it again.
Sawa.
Ikisumbua, you go online, you check for Windows 10 Update Assistant.
Sawa, sawa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, that one can help you out. Christine, how far? Is Christine with us? Hi, Christine, are you there? Okay. Christine ameamua screen iongee. Sawa tu.
Text akasema the screen has hung, the laptop has hung.
The first one, just go with the first one. Complete. Okay, the secret is when you just use the default. Click next. Or it has hung again. So for Christine, let me type you some commands here you can use. So Christine temperature now the network is not, it is oscillatory. Okay. Your internet is oscillating, Christine. Make it stable, please.
Yeah, sorry guys, I'm having issues with my internet.
Yeah, I can see it is oscillatory. It's okay. Who was sharing the screen? I wanted to give us some commands because I can see a device like full. Private. So you can use those commands to do some cleanup of your machine. It will free up some space that you'll be able to install MySQL without any complications. So yeah, have you seen those commands? So you type each under the bar. If you are finished with temp, you move to the next one. Then you will finish with private. So Calvin's. So you saw you as working, right? Please share your MySQL workbench. So okay, Mohammed, you have been silent. How far are you?
I want to connect with my laptop. I am trying to join it through Zoom.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Enoch, this is Mwende. What did you say I do? That moment I was not.
Oh, okay. I saw like laptop may need some more spaces.
No,
So-
not the one for spaces. The one that was Mwende is the one that was saying redistribute what? Not for Vidola.
One that was saying what? Mohammed, you can mute, please. Mohammed, you can mute. Thank you. Okay, Mwende, please come again.
Oh, the one that was saying the application requires Visual Studio.
Oh, yes. I said you do some updates. If it is not updating automatically under the settings, can use, let me type it here. You can use Windows 10 Update Assistant. You can go on the search engine, then you find this one. It will help you. Because those are some updates. Those are system updates that are needed. So nothing much you can do with it. So you have to make,
Data assistant. Okay.
yeah,
Oh, thank you.
right. This is fine. This is working okay. Yes, Mohammed, your screen is okay. Okay, let us use your screen to execute some.
But here is saying no connection established.
No connection is established. Okay. How did you log in? Did you log in as okay? You can go back. You can just begin.
Will I close?
Yes, you can close and open it again. Okay, not just don't close. It's okay. It's okay. I wanted to show another way. Just open it again. You see.
Mimi nimeshindwa ku-open after installing. I don't know where it is.
Okay, Mohammed.
search.
Mohammed, you go in
Nimesearch
the
na kitu inafungua inashinda ikiniambia sijui configure sijui do what.
Mohammed, please answer from afresh. Answer mali unaanzia huko kwa search bar, then ufungue kabisa.
So I asked you, I have 3. MySQL configurator, command line client, Unicode, command line. Which one do I open?
Command line client.
Unicode or command line client only?
Just go ahead with command line. Let us see how that one is behaving. So, ni Mohammed, are you the one downloading again?
Okay.
I'm not downloading, but I want to open.
Yes, please. Please just open it from the beginning.
But why you cannot see from my end?
I'm seeing from just community MySQL community downloads on the search engine. You're sharing a Chrome tab.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the entire screen, then you can see.
So here is where I've started.
Okay, go to the search bar. I want to see something. Yako uliweka a desktop shortcut, right?
Now I
While
have clicked this
installing.
button.
Yes, click on it.
This dialog has opened.
Yes, you can type test just on the connection name. Type test. You want to test it. Test connection. Huko chini. Password, what is your password?
I don't know
Yeah.
my password.
Okay. Just clear it. I want to see if you can set it. Click on clear or you click clear one.
I have cleared it.
Okay, not responding. Okay, click store in Vault to let us see what is there. Store in Vault. Not that one, not that one. Just before clear, there is another store in Vault. That one. Let's see what is there. Yeah, set your password. You can give a name. Make sure you set a password that you can remember.
A number and letters are is it okay?
Huh?
Numbers and letters.
Yes, you can mix. Some characters with numbers.
You know, why is mine disappearing if I type? If I say open, it disappears.
Okay, just a minute to finish this
What
one. I
could be
don't
the
see.
issue?
Okay, unable to connect to this. Okay, so this one may be now. Is your MySQL running? You know, this one is the workbench. This is just a GUI. Is the server running itself?
How do I know that?
Okay, they are okay. You can just close this one. Do you have it installed or you installed just workbench? See if maybe it is not there, it may cause some problems. You install it
I have
from there.
downloaded
Yeah.
it.
Do you
You have
install
said
it?
that. Yeah.
Okay. Go to the
You have said go here
yes,
and then download from here. I've downloaded from here.
yes, you download it, right?
Yeah.
Then you install it, right? Okay. Now let's go to okay, just on the search just the search button, just close to the Windows icon. Search hapo chini kabisa. Tumie them. Type MySQL. Enda hiyo ya kwanza before workbench. Yes, rusha install before workbench hapa chini. Search the web hapo. Yes. Hapo hivyo juu.
Yes, nakupeleka kwa web.
This one or this one? Or this one? Hello?
Haifunguki?
Will I do next?
Okay, apologies. I think
We can't hear you.
He's having some problem network.
Mm.
Can you hear me now? Hello.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you.
So why is this behaving this way? So this is just a GUI. So the bottom line is we need to have the server running. Is your server okay? Just test that connection again and see if it is working. Because the server has to be running. No connection established. Okay. Server may not be running. Okay. Just close all those ones. Because we can see there is no connection here. Just test connection huku chini. Itakata. The reason is your server is not running. Server yenu haifanyi, sijui kwa nini. Yeah. The server is not working on your side. I don't know why. Okay. Calvin, okay, let me confirm who's yake yenye inafanya. Calvin, is yours working? Mohammed, before you exit, let me see something. Do you still have the Git bash with you?
Git bash.
Yes, that the one that we downloaded while you are doing the Git class.
I don't think.
Ah, you removed it.
Where's the course?
Git bash, the first one.
Yes, I have it.
Just open it as the administrator. Rana is the administrator. Okay. Let me see from that side. Lapi yako iko karibu kuzima bana, connect kwa moto. Share that the one with the Git bash. Want you to write something. Okay, type MySQL. I want to see if you have MySQL installed. MySQL space -FN then version. -FN then version.
MySQL space.
-FN then version. Then hit enter. Ako ka dash
Version.
dash. Ako ka dash dash ndio ka hyphen okay, get this. Sorry. Hiyo itawaka kwa Git bash.
Command not found.
Because it is not installed there. Where's Calvin's? I want Calvin's to share. I'm using a different GUI and I'm using Linux. That's why I'm not sharing on my side. Taka nione mbona hazifanyi kwenu. Calvin's, please share your MySQL Workbench.
Why is ours showing? What's this? Browse documentation, read the blog, discuss the forums. So what are you supposed to do with this?
That is under while you're installing or what?
When you say finish, that's the page, that's the next page that comes up.
Don't change. This is Mohammed. Please don't change. Let it remain at standard TCP. That means transfer control protocol. So don't change it. I don't know why yours is behaving that way, because while you're installing, it's just after installing, it should bring you to this point.
Which point?
This
so
one,
mine is at this where the The page behind this dialog box.
The page behind this.
What
okay.
do you do with that? Yeah, Mohammed's the white part that has bench. What do you do with that?
The white part that has bench. Okay, where is
See,
it?
Mohammed's screen has two. There's the dialog box, then there's the
Okay, Mohammed, you
whatever.
can close this one. Close this one, please. Let's see. Let me have a full view of this. Oh, well, you are
Yes.
here now,
What's
right?
this? Yeah.
Oh no, this is we call it's like the landing page under the MySQL workbench. So you come on your left hand side where there is connections. Is yours displaying the same thing?
Connections.
Hmm.
MySQL connections plus and
Yeah.
something.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you click on that
Click on what?
to come up with a new connection.
Sorry,
Let's
click
see
on
you as if the plus sign.
the plus sign.
Hmm.
The plus sign connection name is blank.
You
Type a name
can
for the connection.
on the connection name you can name it test because you are testing. You want to test if it is connecting.
Test.
Yeah, Mohammed
Then I
is
don't change anything.
you don't change anything. Then you go to the under the password. There is store in vault. Make sure you have your password there. Mohammed,
Store in vault,
is if
yes.
continues. Yes, yes. Mohammed is if continues on our side. On your search bar, please search MySQL. I want to see something.
So password, I just click store in vault.
Yes.
Alafu niweke password.
Yeah, wake a password. Mohammed, this is the only output that is giving us, right?
Yeah.
Hebu ongeza hapo MySQL server. Server. Okay, you don't have it there.
Then I
Hebu
say
delete
ask test connection.
test, yes, test connection.
Connection warning incompatible stroke non-standard server version or connection protocol detected.
Hebu share your screen tuone. Okay, the only thing that they are facing this challenge ni ikimanage kumake our server to be running itakuwa sawa. That is the only problem that we're having here. Haina shida ingine. Continue anyway, let's see. Huyu inakupea connection warning hivi. Okay.
Successfully made the connection, okay?
Okay. Yes, click okay. Test huko connection chini ndio ikakupea hivyo, si ndio?
Oh, sorry.
Huko chini.
Sorry.
Okay.
Nifanye nini sasa? Yeah, I clicked on this test connection ndio ikaleta hiyo page.
Okay, click
So
okay
I
now.
say okay.
Screen
Why
imeenda.
has screen sharing stopped?
Share tena.
So where is this thing? So
Now click on that now. Click on your local instance that is running there. Unatumia gani? Fanya ya test. Book click test one. We see.
I think I'm even seeing the things you're asking me to click. Oh, test. So I click on test.
I want to see if it is working well. Why is it showing this one? Just continue.
I say don't show this message again.
Yeah, okay. Don't click that one. Maybe if there is an error, it will show you. Just click continue anyway. Yes, that's fine. Now, No, yours is working. Okay, your server is running. We want to test it. Okay. Let me type the commands so that I can move faster. Let me share the thing. You are going to create this. Create database. Let me share the commands. Begin with that one.
How do I come back to my chart? Okay. Including the colon, semicolon.
Yes, we said that is our delimiter.
So I type it here. Oops. Where?
You just copy it, type it there.
There. Enter.
No, okay, you can highlight it.
The whole thing?
Angalia hapo button ya execute.
Sorry?
Check for button to execute.
Executes.
Yours
Execute
is okay. Yours is okay. Let us we angalia zayo kwa background. That is at least a
Sawa.
simple task.
Acha mtu mwingine basi asaidike.
Mohammed, please share yours. Your server is not running. That is the case. Please share yours again. I want to make sure at least before you leave, you have something running on your side.
Search, print.
Nice. Okay, click on the root. That's Mohammed connection. Click there. I want to see if your server is working correctly. Yes, that one. Your server
Yeah, I
is
think
not.
it's okay.
Your side is okay,
mine
right?
is okay.
Yeah, Mohammed, your server
Given me
still
an
is not.
output.
Yeah, that's it.
It
Should work that way. Mohammed, your server is not running, so it cannot connect.
How do I do to run it?
Okay. So close this one, then you go to search bar. Just close to the Windows icon. Not that one. Just try MySQL. Trying to check why your server is not working. Andika tu MySQL hapo nione output. Hiyo ya kwanza, hebu enda hiyo ya kwanza. Hiyo imekuja hapo. The first one, that one. Mohammed, okay, I'm not sure. Tempted to ask again. Did you install MySQL server? Please.
This one.
Did you install? Yes, that one. Just click there. I want us to do it again. Because seems your server may not be present or it is not working. I don't know why. You can just reinstall it again. Go to downloads, navigate to downloads. No. Yes, that one. Just scroll downwards. Community server. No. Just hapo chini. Teremka chini. Hapo. Yes, that one. Okay, community server hapo. Download the first one. Who else? Mwende, have you tried to update on your side?
It's telling me my Windows is up to date. Yeah,
But still you're facing the same Microsoft issue, yeah, Visual Studio.
I have uninstalled it, so I want to install again and see what it will say.
Okay. This looks like it's about to finish. Open on the folder. Okay. Mohammed, just proceed. Just to do the same installations again. I want to see if your server will be installed now.
Okay.
Please connect your laptop. I can see it is about to switch off. Click next. Click next. I hope you have not closed. Yeah. Yeah, click I accept. Complete. Okay, as Mohammed is installing.
If Eve, are you in this class?
Yes,
Ame?
I'm here.
Oh, mbona kumenyamaza? Mwalimu amedrop.
Mwalimu amedrop, yes.
Oh, nimefikiria nimebaki.
Guy, natumbaki tu watatu. Hata Christina yuko. Oh,
Oh,
Emmanuel is here.
oh yeah.
Sijamsikia akiongea.
Hata hatujui kama ako na SQL.
Till midnight. Si, I think sahi uko poa ama?
Nani mimi?
Execute. Alisema usichoose any.
Ah, mimi ndio sahii nataka kuanza kuinstall tena nione.
Kwani nani ana present? Si wewe?
Huyu ni
Oh,
Mohamed.
ni Mohamed. Oh. Mohamed teacher said you don't choose anything. So you just install them the way they, you execute, sorry, the way they are.
Okay, thank you.
Hmm. Nilitafuta Vayo but I didn't get to her.
Eve,
Yeah? Why is it taking that long, Nani, Mohammed? Oh,
it's
it's
downloading.
meaning them one by one.
Yeah.
So tukishamaliza kuinstall class imeisha, we can go. Ama
I
what is the
think
plan?
so.
Oh,
Kwani ametoka bila kutu
ni kama tu
alert aje ama
labda
machine ilienda tu off. I hope Nani stopped recording.
Dude, he has not stopped.
Yes, continue anyway. Okay. Yes. Now click OK on the right hand side. Click OK. Nice. Now open test the connection. Continue anyway. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. Type create database. Capital letters. They have to be in uppercase. Create database. Create database. Space. Test in lowercase. Semicolons. No, after test, just put semicolon. Yes. Now run it. Execute that command. Highlight it, then execute. You can highlight or put yes. Execute.
Iko kwa database. No, sorry, query. I think iko kwa query. Query uko juu. Current statement.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Now, so that is Eve and Mohammed. You guys are now working, right?
Yes.
Mwende yake ilikuwa inasumbua.
Mwende, I don't know if she dropped.
Yes, Mohammed, we have said
Mwende is here.
Mohammed, we have said even though the commands in lowercase will work, it is not recommended. You need to differentiate between the keywords and then your naming conventions. That is okay. Don't rename it twice. You can create another database or create a table, whichever. Now, Mwende, how far are you? So, Mohammed, you can be doing that one on the background. That's okay.
I am downloading.
The
Is it okay if I text you in case it disturbs me in any way?
yes, that's fine. Feel free
Ah.
to reach out.
Okay.
Emmanuel, how far are you?
Emmanuel has been quiet in this class. I haven't heard his voice.
Emmanuel, are you with us? Mali Toweka. Please, we want to make sure that today at least to make the installations. Manuel aongei. Calvin's Calvin, yours was working. Oh, he's not here. Okay, but his was working. So the only person is not working is Mwende, right? So Emmanuel, please respond. I want to know how many of us have not made installation successfully. I'm downloading my SQL. Okay, please share a screen so that we can guide you very fast. Within 3 minutes, we finish. Oh, you're even done. Huh? Okay. So you entered your password? Yes. Please unmute and say something so that I can know. Hi, Emmanuel. Are you in a position to speak? Emmanuel, you are muted in case you are saying something. Okay, guys, seems Emmanuel is not. Okay, Emmanuel, you can work on it. Then if you find any challenge, please hit me up. So you guys have heard that you are so tired. So, Mohammed, you want to show us something?
Yeah, I want to ask you if I want to see the database that I've created, how do I see it?
Okay, you say show databases. Show. Just write it as a command. I want you guys to be using commands. Write it as show databases in uppercase. Then you put our delimiter, yes, semicolons. Then you run it, execute it. It seems your command has an error. Why?
Show is not started in this position, excepting oh,
Okay. Hebu press enter tuone, hebu ipeleke chini. Then move the cursor to the beginning of at the word show. Then you press enter. Mbele ya S. Press enter tuone. The word is expecting what? Oh, the first one. Hebu. Yes. Now execute the two. You can highlight them both. Highlight them both. Then you execute them. Execute those commands.
I've executed it, saying an error in code.
Have you executed it now?
Yeah,
No.
current statement, isn't it?
Yes.
Or all sections.
You can do either.
There is an error showing here.
Create database. Okay. Create database test. Why is it giving an error? And the command is okay. Oh, okay. You had created that one. Okay. So change the name. Change the name of the database. No, the name of the database, the one that we have created. You can maybe add one, test one. Test one, ongeza one hapo mwisho. Now run the two commands. So create. Aya, run ya pili peke yake. Yeah, that's how you get it. Unaiona hapo chini test one na test one.
Yeah.
Okay, that's how you see the one that you have created. So yours is working okay. So for those guys, maybe Mwende and Emmanuel, in case you come across any challenge while installing, please hit me up. So I wanted to ask something from you guys. So guys, you wanted to rest tomorrow from what I have heard, or what was your suggestion?
Did you want to teach us?
Yes.
It's okay. Mwende unacheka nini?
Hiyo ni swali gani unauliza mwalimu?
Yeah, there is a session for tomorrow. So you guys, for those who have not installed, please make sure you have installed it. For those who have managed to install successfully, please make some practice on how to use the GUI. That is the workbench. Okay.
What's GUI? This one.
Graphical user interface. Yes,
User
this is a
interface.
GUI client. graphical user interface.
This that Nani is sharing, Mohammed is sharing.
Yes, this is a graphical user interface. So while interacting with the database, you can use terminals, command line terminal, or use the graphical user interface clients like this one. Right?
Okay.
Yes. So you can make use of this one. Please ukue familiar nayo. So tomorrow we meet at the same time, right? So that now you can create some tables, populate our tables, and so do some manipulations the database and the tables.
Now.
No, tomorrow. So the same time, eh?
Yes,
So
7
guys,
o'clock.
so guys, thank you
Utengeneze
for
mic nini yako. Inaitwaje?
hii mashine bana,
Utengeneze speaker yako.
nilikuwa nanitesa bana we. Anyway, thank you guys for joining. I hope we had a lovely session. Thank you so much.
Yes,
We
we
meet
did.
tomorrow. We meet tomorrow.
Thank you.